What's going on, guys? Welcome to your 17th Java tutorial, and what we're going to learn about in today's tutorial is randomness. It's just going to be crazy. Everything's going to be coming from just different directions. It's going to confuse the crap out of you guys. Just kidding. But anytime we develop a game such as Yahtzee or something, we want to have some kind of a random choice, like a dice. So what we're going to first do is we're going to create an int variable. We're going to call this int dice. We're going to set this equal to be 0 at the beginning. Now, to get a random result, we can do this a few different ways. So the first thing that we're going to do to create some kind of a chaos here, or randomness, is we're going to create a random object called R. We're going to set this equal to a new random. And again, random isn't a class that we created. This came with Java. So what we're going to do is we're going to import the random class so we can use this random R here. And now what we can do is we can set our dice equal to R dot, and there's a method called nextInt. Again, our dice value is an integer, so we want to work with int. So we're just going to say nextInt, and there we go. Now all we're going to do is a system out.print, and what we're going to print is our dice. And as for now, we aren't really giving it any options, how many choices we're going to have, nothing like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to type in 6 within our next int variable, saying there's 6 options. So now when we save it and run it, as you can see down there, we get a 4, run it again, get a 0, 4, 3, just these random numbers. But as you can tell already, something's messed up right now because we're getting a 0 value and we aren't getting a 6 value. So all we need to do is, after my computer stops freaking out there, all we're going to do is we're going to say +1. Because again, computers, they like zeros. They like starting at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So when we say 6 values, what it's processing through, or what it's cycling through for a random value, is starting at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's 6 different values, which is what we put in, but it's starting at 0 again. So all we're going to do is we're going to say +1. So now we're going to cycle through numbers 1 through 6 instead of 0 through 5. So that's pretty much a random dice for you. As you can see, it's just a random number for us. We can check some probability applications by using a random input of some sort, or for example, just creating a dice for our game. So again, all we did is we created a random object, called it R, and then we're allowing that R object to use some of the methods from the random class. But just to see if there's some other methods that we can use that we'll get into. Again, I'd suggest you guys just going through some of these. Obviously, these next Boolean values, next double, next float, those will give us different types of values instead of an int value. But since, again, our dice is an int value, doesn't work with decimal places, I chose to use that. But those are pretty much the same, except obviously different data types. But one last method I want to show you guys is if you don't want to go through the hassle of setting up your parameters or anything like that, you just want a quick response, you can do that with the double. And again, it's going to come from the random class, but we're going to create a double value, and we're going to just call this randomness, something like that. Set this equal to be from the random class, or our R value, and we can just say next, not new, next double. As you can see, next double will give us a value between 0 and 1, because again, doubles work with decimal places, so it's just going to print out a random number between 0 and 1 without giving it any parameters again. So that could be a lot quicker if you just needed a random option, and then you could actually, we need that R value, and then you could tie it or actually just run this, show you guys real quick. Obviously a number between 0 and 1, and then so now what we can do is we can create another double value, set this equal to num for number, some kind of random number, set this equal to be randomness times something like that, like 1,000,000. And then what we can do is we can create an int value, call this our number that we want, something like that, and we can set this equal to our num, which again is our randomness, and then set it equal something like that. But again, since we're trying to convert a double into an int value, just for some review here, we have to cast it as an int. So our double will be equal to an int value. Then we can just do a random or print out our number, which again it should be an integer by now, and save it and run it, and hopefully we get some kind of value like that. So there's some different ways to use the random method, but hopefully you guys kind of understand this. If not, just kind of work through it, do some different examples that you guys want to try, and hope you enjoyed the tutorial. See you guys later.